The Intercontinental Presidente Cancun Resort is located at the northeastern edge of the hotel zone in Cancun, which hosts most of the resorts in the area. I had used a number of Chase free night certificates as the hotel charges 35,000 points or $400 per night during the busy New Year's season. We arrived somewhat early and got an earful from the security staff that we could not drive up to the lobby, which was under construction, but also could not wait in the car park area for a few minutes while unloading our bags. There was no help for our bags either. I found that less welcoming than it should be. The check-in was slow and involved a lot of paperwork. However, eventually we got a room in the 8th floor facing the road. The road right in front of the Intercontinental is busy and cars run quickly at around 70 miles an hour. The road itself is just a few meters from the hotel. With the amount of cars and the close proximity, it is really loud in the room. The Intercontinental itself is likely the closest hotel to the road anywhere in the hotel zone. Most of the hotels are set back from the road at least a couple hundred meters. This isn't a problem for rooms facing the beach, but a huge downside for rooms facing the street. Double pane windows would have solved the problem, but the hotel has failed to install any of those so far. The room itself looked more akin of a Holiday Inn, Spartan but functional. It must have gotten a remodel not so long ago. It definitely didn't feel luxurious like most Intercontinentals I've stayed at in the past. For example, Osaka, the Intercontinental in Lagos, or the former Intercontinental in Phnom Penh. The room itself looked more like a decent, relatively new, low-end 3-star hotel. Unfortunately, the room was also so far down the hall that the Wi-Fi would not work at all. It was less than 1 Mbit, and it's much below the 10 Mbit that are usually prescribed by the franchise manual. I immediately called front desk, but since it was a busy day, nobody would pick up. Eventually, IT services were available, but could not do anything since no repeaters or routers were available. The hotel also throttled Wi-Fi at around 5 Mbit in all the other areas. So even outside the room, it was much slower than the 10 Mbit that are usually required by IHG and guaranteed. We immediately requested to change the room to get a better Wi-Fi reception. We finally got through to the front desk at 6 p.m. and all rooms were taken by that. A new room, however, was promised to us the next day. But it only happened after 3 p.m. after an endless back and forth with several front desk staff. We had to inquire several times who was on duty. We were asked why we would change the room, and we would have to go through this several times just to get a better room. Eventually, we got this new room, which was facing the ocean. It was much better. It had a better working air conditioning, and the internet worked properly, and the room itself was quiet. However, even this room did not feel luxurious at all. It had a great view, but still felt more like a 3-star hotel. The Intercontinental Cancun has 2 large pools and great access to the beach. Indeed, the stretch of beach is wonderful, with clear water and soft sand. Because of its protected location, it is ideal for swimming or for bringing small children. Most beaches in Cancun, on the other hand, have strong surf, making it very difficult to swim, even for expert swimmers. The only downside around the beach area are the frequent jet skis coming in from other resorts. While they don't come right away to the beach, they emit an exorbitant amount of exhaust and noise. If the wind moves in from the north, it will be really smelly at the beach. The pool area itself was clean and quite spread out. It definitely needs a refresh. Most of the pool area felt like it was at least 30 to 40 years old. The available amount of benches was really small. Most of the time at around 10 a.m., all of them were taken by mostly Brazilian guests. We also ordered breakfast a few times and felt it was quite decent. It wasn't the worst hotel food we ever had, and it was certainly better than starving, but it wasn't great at all, and there wasn't much taste. However, It was not expensive, and we felt it was a good deal. The staff we interacted with was mostly missing. Even if they were present, we felt they were intellectually missing. We had most success with one of the employees at the front desk called Victor, who was very helpful and actually got things done. Most of the other staff either wouldn't understand us, and we didn't feel this was a language problem, or had no options for us to resolve a problem. The same was true for checkout, which was another long process. And mind you, there was really nothing in terms of payment for me to do since I used my free nights. It still would take a solid 20 minutes with paperwork, credit cards, and countless back and forth that I didn't understand why it would be necessary in the first place. In sum, the Intercontinental Cancun is in a great location. It has a pretty unique beach access and just has a wonderful looking beach. However, the resort is really old and tired and much more resembles a Holiday Inn Express at the US airport from the inside. The staff is grumpy, and couldn't care less about you. There's mediocre food, the rooms are moldy and old and are certainly not luxurious, and the Wi-Fi barely works all across the resorts. We also felt the rooms on the roadside are just not worthwhile because of its noise problem. I think you should do yourself a favor and stay in one of the more modern hotels in the town of Cancun, which is actually surprisingly modern. And then take the almost free public bus to the beach and spend your day at the beach in Cancun there. In the meantime, I also reached out to IHG and to the GM at the Intercontinental Cancun. Both of them have failed to get back to me after 2 weeks. See how you can afford to fly business class and book 5-star hotels for very little with Mighty Travels Premium. Get your 30-day free trial today. Click here on the menu card or go to mtp4u.com.